Buenos nachos and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode we're going to be taking a look at this PlayStation 2, which the customer says does not read CDs or DVDs. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try out a couple of games, make sure that of course the customer's claims are valid, which I'm sure they are. First things first, we're going to go ahead and try out a DVD based game. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and see if the console is working, which it looks like it is. Let's go ahead and put a game in here. And before we do that, let's make sure, yep, controller is working. Sounds like games are working. Could the issue perhaps be intermittent? Yeah, looks like it's working. So let's go ahead and try out a CD-based game. Sounds like it's working to me. Let's go ahead and open up the console and see what's going on. Alright, so I've already removed the screws, so let's go ahead and open this console up. So it does look a little dirty in here. I do see some rust spots, which isn't beyond, oh, well, no, because it looks like we might have had some roach droppings here. Yeah, so this console was infested by roaches at one point in time. It's starting to, ooh, it's getting pretty bad. What's the deal over here? Yeah, that's pretty bad, I must say. Wow. Jeez. Well, if they were having an intermittent issue with the laser not initializing, that would make sense, because on this assembly right here, I don't know if you can see it, you have to press this down. Of course, this is for the lid. This is one of the lid sensors. So that would make sense if this was not functioning properly and or if this was corroded, which it does look like it is. There are two sensors. There's one right here next to the laser assembly at the very top next to the modem. Well, I guess in this case the back next to the modem, and of course right here in the front. So yeah, I would probably say this is the issue. So most likely you can go ahead and cut this back and clean it if you don't want to purchase an entire ribbon assembly and a new board. The board, on the other hand, well, it does look like it's a little corroded. Well, let's go ahead and see if this is actually causing the issue with games not reading. So of course we're always getting our power light, which is great. Yeah, you see right now I have both sensors pressed down and nothing is happening with this disc. What if I were to wiggle this in a certain direction? Would it change anything? No. Oh, there it goes. It's trying to do something. Well, let's go ahead and power down the console and let's try another ribbon and see if that takes care of it. There does appear to be a little bit of corrosion on the board as well. It looks to be quite minuscule. Now let's take a closer look at this ribbon, because it did not look too good when I was looking at it earlier. That really looks like that'd be the reason for all the problems. The center line, which is ground, is just completely eaten away from the looks of it, and then the bottom pin looks like it's severed for the connection. I'm sure if I were to zoom in more, we'd see even more serious damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap out this ribbon right here. Alright, let's go ahead and try this again, apply some power to the console. So it doesn't look like that's doing anything for us. So it's possible the actual button on this assembly could be bad. Let's try out a new assembly. It's either that or there may be some corrosion which is going to need to be taken care of. The laser is moving just fine. So we have this shell off of the console and we have the metal shroud removed, and as you can tell it does look like the roaches did make their way underneath, and it does look like there's a little bit of cleaning required because some liquid may have spilled within the console. We'll go ahead and put this in our ultrasonic tank and use 99% isopropyl alcohol, brush all of this down. We just finished submerging this in the ultrasonic tank and it's definitely looking a whole lot better than what it was. A lot of this corrosion is cleaned up and we just have a little bit to brush off at this point. But the most important thing was this area right here, which if you remember was looking pretty bad. I'll go ahead and brush all of this off camera and then we'll go ahead and see you back at the console. Of course, if you take a look here, the case is nice and clean now. If you remember, there was a ton of cockroach carcass and poop all over here. Cockroach caca. See if this thing will slide in here because it didn't want to earlier. And then while we have it open, we're going to go ahead and replace this battery, because you know the battery's gone on this console. Alright, so we've already removed the battery and of course the bad IR button there. Install our new battery into place. And there it is. We have one final screw to install, and that is for the memory card port, which is right here in the front. Alright, and before we completely reassemble this thing, let's go ahead and try it out with a game or two. Alright, so we have our power right here. Let's put our game in. Go ahead and hit the power. Sounds like we have some spinning in there. Console is still powering on. Of course, we expected nothing less. And of course, games are booting. And that's how we fix this PlayStation 2 Slim console. If you found this video helpful or useful, please remember to leave us a like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Until next time.